pressure to conform to political correctness has undeniably suppressed genuine debate, and it's time we...
Bro, 24 views? Oh my God. Oh my God. They're really cooking with this Freedom 2.0 shit, I think.
put a stop to it. Enter Freedom 2.0. I love this. Listen to this. It's a bottled water company, an unapologetic one that proudly supports the freedom to speak, to think, and to listen. We can't afford to remain silent anymore. It's crucial to make our support for the First Amendment crystal clear. And one impactful way to do so is by choosing products from companies that share our values. Visit freedom20.com and use the code MK for a 15% discount when you get there, to stand with me and millions of other Americans in celebrating the right to free speech. Remember, freedom is not inherited. It's something we must actively fight for. So raise your voice, grab your bottle of Freedom 2.0 and make a statement. Cheers to Freedom 2.0. That's Freedom 2.0, like the letter O, not Freedom 2.0 when you're typing it in. And champion the power of free speech.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Is this the same guy that owns Nut Milk? I have no idea. This is a fucking cyberpunk product. We are living in cyberpunk world. Okay, we got a couple videos on the docket. We got the vindication of Australia's worst female serial killer, but I do want to start out with how a CIA base
Smith
works.
is sitting on a Lufthansa machine bound to Frankfurt, Germany. Jane Smith is sitting on a Lufthansa machine bound to Frankfurt, Germany. She empties her second glass of red wine and fastens her seatbelt because the plane is about to land. When Jane exits the aircraft, she goes straight to customs. She shows the officer her American passport. It's black. "Why are you here?" the officer asks. "Supporting technical consultations at the consulate," Jane responds. The officer stamps her passport, and she passes through. Jane grabs some euros from an ATM, takes a cab to a nearby hotel, and checks in. You see, Jane lied a little just now, during the customs check. She is not working for a consulate, and despite her passport, she is no diplomat. Jane is a CIA agent, a hacker. She's visiting a covert...
Okay, to be fair, which diplomat isn't? You know what I mean?
base of her agency, secretly set up within the American consulate in Frankfurt. But this base, in the heart of Europe, is just one of a giant network spanning all across the globe. What are their...
This is why I always use the term State Department employee rather than just simply CIA. It's interchangeable colloquially, but...
functions, and how do these bases operate on foreign territory?
CIA's global hacking program.
Spy stations, Methoden der CIA.
Look at the Americans doing
Fern.
This video has Boy Boy in it multiple times. Let's go!
Jane enters the hotel room and drops off her bags. She was prepared for this trip.
By the way, Alex and Alexa are going to be here soon, as a matter of fact. In a couple of weeks, the Aussies are back.
She's been given instructions on how to get around in Frankfurt. Stores are closed on Sunday, gas stations are not a good place for fine dining, stuff like that. We all know this thanks to the extensive leaks called Vault 7 from a few years back. Generally, this video largely relies on leaked information and statements of retired agents. It was a 9-hour flight from Washington, D.C. to Frankfurt. Jane is pretty exhausted and takes a shower. She is very careful not to leave anything that could identify her unattended. She takes her phone and laptop with her to the bathroom. Freshly dressed, Jane takes the U5 subway towards Pollingesheim. She gets off at Gießner Straße, just a few hundred meters north from the consulate. Frankfurt hosts the largest U.S. consulate in the world. Officially, it is serving American residents in the region, but in truth, it is doing much more than that.
Oh yeah.
At the main gate, Jane shows her black passport and is handed a yellow visitor's badge. She follows the signs to the employee entrance alongside the consulate building on the left. Jane holds up her yellow badge at the door and is buzzed into the building by a guard. Inside the building, Jane walks through a number of corridors and through a large heavy door to Post 1. A U.S. Marine is waiting behind a glass window. Jane gives her the yellow badge and she gets a blue one instead. Jane can finally enter her new office and get to work. She calls her person of contact and gets to know the other agents at the station. In 2013, news broke that the US spied on then German Chancellor Angela Merkel's private phone for over 10 years.
The NSA may have been spying on Chancellor Angela Merkel.
A spokesman for the German leader described the idea as
totally unacceptable.
The operation was run by the so-called Special Collection Service, a spy unit of the NSA and CIA. Officially, it does not exist. Unofficially, it is running spy operations from almost 100 US embassies all across the world, including Frankfurt. But Jane works for another unit here. She works for the European branch of the Center for Cyber Intelligence.
And these people are mostly Ivy grads? Yes. If you go to Yale, if you go to Harvard, you're going to get scouted, and this is what you're going to end up doing.
The CIA's hacking division. Jane and others are developing cyber weapons. There are over 1,000 hacking systems and several hundred million lines of code in the CIA's arsenal. Some of these hacking tools are extremely powerful. The CIA could turn devices from Apple, Google, Samsung, and many others into secret microphones. There are tools that bypass encryption from messengers like WhatsApp, Signal, or Telegram, allowing the agency to collect text and voice messages. But there are also attack systems like fine dining, which only work from up close. This is where Frankfurt's strategic location comes into play. The Schengen Agreement allows Jane to travel from Frankfurt to almost any European country without border control. If Jane wanted to penetrate high-security targets that are not connected to the internet, she could simply take a train, stick a USB drive loaded with malware into a target PC, and be back in Frankfurt by supper. Jane is a very talented hacker. If one day she decided to leave the CIA, she could have a very promising career as a cybersecurity expert. All she'd have to do is build a portfolio and launch her own website. Unfortunately, Jane is not very creative when it comes to designing. Luckily, she doesn't have to be. There is a fast, easy, and intuitive way to build a website with our sponsor, Odoo.
Oh my God.
Odoo is an all-in-one management.
Oh my God. That's a fucking banger segue. I have to recognize that. I literally thought it was a part of the content. That's crazy. I'm done. I'm done. I'm throwing the fucking towel. That was an insane segue, bro. That's okay.
Management platform that lets you build a great-looking website in minutes. Just answer a few quick questions, select a theme you like, and customize it to your needs. Simply drag and drop blocks to add images or text. If you, like Jane, are out of creative ideas, AI can help you. With Odoo's intuitive website builder, you can easily change every aspect of your site, highlight text, change the shape of your pictures, or add animations to make your website really stand out. Check out Odoo by clicking on fern.deals/Odoo to build your very own website. Your first app is free for life, with a custom domain name free for 1 year. Jane is working at the base for a time now when she gets a phone call. Her superiors need her expertise at another location. She says goodbye to her colleagues, checks out of her hotel room, and buys a single malt whiskey with her remaining euros in the duty-free shop at the airport. Jane's next destination is Australia.
Wait, what? Five Eyes! Why would she go to Australia? Wait, the CIA? You mean to tell me that the CIA operates in Australia? Wait, hold on. Or no, that makes no sense to me, mate. Or no.
Jane gets off the plane and walks to customs, and things do not go smoothly. One of the officers seems suspicious about her and selects Jane for secondary screening. But she is prepared. Agents like Jane are usually trained here, Camp Peary, or how most people in the CIA call it, the farm, a roughly 10,000-acre piece of land near Williamsburg, Virginia. It was established during World War II as a military training center. Later, it was transformed into a camp for Italian and German war prisoners. In 1951, the CIA took over and turned it into a secret spy school. Of course, not officially. In fact, the CIA has built an entire fake city. There are multiple houses and dormitories for students and staff. For training, the site has several shooting ranges.
Bring burner phones to China, keep your personal phone at home. Why? I don't give a shit. Oh no, the Chinese government is gonna fucking spy on me? What are they gonna find out? My undying loyalty to Xi Jinping? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it would be really scary if the Chinese agencies spied on me to find out how much of a dick rider I was. Yeah, I like to keep a level playing field. Everyone can have my data. I already know the American agency